Let's speed through these and think about your decision making.
I'm too far.
Alright. So here you're already pushed up in the main. You didn't see anyone. You see they're already pushing A. You have 3 teammates on A. I know your Jet inted, fighting alone, or like the other 2 teammates didn't help her at all. She was pushing in front of Cypher Util, whatever, doesn't matter. But they have already have 2 people A. That's pretty much as many people as you would normally expect there. So unless you're pretty sure that someone is like lurking here to cut you off, going the safe way isn't really any faster. Because going this way is pretty quick. Going this way is about the same. Both are risky because you'll probably come across someone. But coming this way, you lose out on information. Because you don't know if they're going to rotate out. So they haven't gotten past this trip yet. So if you look at it from their team's perspective, if this lurking Reyna dies, what do you get? Not really much, because they can still rotate to B because you've left B open. However, if you die, they actually just won this entire half of the map. They take over the entire map if you die. So your life is incredibly valuable here. Luckily you win this fight. You have a bunch of shooting error here. Really got to clean up those strafe shots, or dead zones rather, when you're taking this. But I don't think this gun is retrievable. So you're not here to go retrieve this gun, but this is even worse than before. Before when you were here, if you died, you lose the whole half of the map, but you don't really know. Or the enemy team doesn't really know. But here, when they get the kill on you, it's they know they win control over mid. No one's here to trade you. If there was a teammate here, they'd probably help fight and stuff like that. So they pretty much know that there's no one in this area. But this is basically a really obscenely high risk for pretty low reward in general. If you're going to push up this far, you might as well also try to flank. It's probably still not a good idea because it's too risky. You're just losing too much of the map by doing this push. But it'd be a lot safer to at least check this corner to see if there's anyone at least around here. Than it would be to just completely turn your back, put your gun away, knife out. So yeah, you sort of just threw B site. That one. This one, I'm pretty okay with you taking risks. You're sort of just gambling that they're going to push A into your 3 and that they might have a chance.
Coming here, guys.
But once again, I don't know if I really like this teleport. If you want to take a risk, it's more... everyone's going to expect you to rotate this way, and they're not going to expect as much for you to come around flank. I know they might be watching flank, they have area control and stuff like that, but you can only run to here before now you lose control. At this point, crossing mid is about as dangerous as pushing into their side. So here, once again, if you die, you lose all of B site. So you have to think, okay, are there fewer enemies coming mid to B, or are there fewer enemies B main? So you know there's at least 2 enemies pushing you, so you should be trying to retreat at this point. I don't think fighting through 2 makes sense. They said there was at least 1 A, so there's at most 2 B main. So this is either a 1v at least 2, or 1v at most 2. So they didn't even double swing. But dying here, once again, you lose this entire half of the map.
Drone going out.
In general, it shouldn't be the sentinel rotating. The job of sentinel is to control space. Also, I'm pretty sure I can't hear your mic if you're saying anything. So you guys have surrendered B site again. So you're just running back and forth through spawn. It's better just to gamble something and then wait. So that's why it's better just to gamble B and sit and anchor and just wait, rather than run all the way over here just to realize that they're not actually pushing A. Or similarly, now that you're already here, it's better just to stay here than run all the way back to B. They have a trip, you don't have to watch this. Your clove's also there already. You should be helping hold.
Teleport's ready.
Instead, you're wasting time running back and forth again. You just left your teammate to die without helping.
They found my trap.
Like, you have your teleport. You can walk all the way out here. I'm pretty sure. Your TO ends up dying because no one's holding his spawn.
Okay.
I'm not sure it's worth making noise here. Also, didn't someone break your trip? Or did their clove kill them right after? Alright, clove killed them after.
Okay.
Here on this retake, like, you know they're planting. I don't know if you actually told your team at all. But there's no reason to try to 1v2 retake. You're in a 4v2. The worst possible thing you can do is try to peek and fight into them. There could be at least 2 people just sitting here. Or there could be both of them just sitting here, like, watching you. Since it's wingman plant.
Spike planted.
Long.
So this is the throw right here. Your teammate knows it. No reason to put your gun away either. They also could be here.
One enemy remaining.
I know his main. Yeah, making it harder on the team. You're late. Teleport immediately. That was late. You really have this habit of just putting your gun away. Like, you only move 20% slower if you have your rifle out. Like, it's not that big of a difference. Crosshair's not ready.
Spike planted.
Putting your gun away. Team's not here yet. You shouldn't be peeking. You're in the open when you're shooting that.
One less.
Right, now you should be going out with them. I don't know about this reload when your clove needs you.
Teleport's ready.
You fell pretty far behind your clove. Not like super far, but I don't know if you can slow down here like this. Puts them really far ahead. Makes it much harder to trade than if you were next to them. Holding a little too close to the corner.
Break it, don't break it. Clove, don't break it.
You're buying full armor. Pretty sure you can just sell one bullet. Get a vandal. Bolt decent. Yeah. I mean, you should just get rifle here. No reason not to get half armor or rechargeable armor.
Foolish.
Oh,
Last
the
player
other.
standing.
Oh my lord.
Foolish.
Like, okay, you're really swinging with the team.
Them out.
I'm not sure why you have full armor all the time. Look at the enemies by. Yeah, the enemies all have rifles, so there's not really a reason to have full armor. They're probably just gonna vandal for 120 damage in 4 and 3 anyway. They have enough for full armor, so it's unlikely that your outlaw is gonna one-shot.
Breaking the door.
So you have an outlaw, you might as well just fire your 2 shots, especially when he's not looking at you. Fire's pretty quick. You fired just over his shoulder.
Breaking the door.
My ult is ready.
Not sure about the solo repeak when he knows where you are though.
My ult is ready.
I think you may as well have just taken that shot in the first place.
Don't pick. Mid. Mid up.
Once again, you don't move that much slower with your pistol out. Probably better to have your pistol out. I don't think it's good to look down at your gun when you're picking it up. Like, you could have had your crosshair ready here with your pistol out, and then, like, sure, it would have taken a little bit of time to take out your outlaw and toss it to the ground, but at least your crosshair placement wouldn't be broken. And I think if you still had your pistol out, yeah, you would have had your pistol out in time at the moment that you swapped, because you just toss your gun, have pistol out, and then walking over the new gun, you would pick it up without switching weapons, and so you'd be able to pistol. You want to make sure your crosshair uptime is almost all the time. Put your gun away way too much. Didn't use your op, even though your team is pretty poor. I don't know if that was on purpose. Your team's by. Check it. Yeah, everyone on your team has a rifle. There's no reason for you to have a rifle as well. You might as well use op this round. Unless, what are you saving it for? Your team's low money, and then your team all is rifles. So even if you op, you can still pick up a rifle if you need it. So you also have your jet with you. I don't know if you need to teleport out, unless like you see threat from someone else. It's okay. I don't know why you're walking. I don't know why you're putting your gun away repeatedly.
Teleport.
I mean, your Cypher already has B locked down and you have 2 mid. There's no reason to have left A at all. May as well stay here to reinforce your jet. You should have your gun out. You should silence your jumps. No reason to have your jump sound on.
Spike down A.
I also don't know why you keep
Enemy
jumping.
remaining.
Every time you jump, you're defenseless.
Okay.
You're peeking like really close to your Cypher.
Okay.
I wonder if it'd be better to move up here so he knows where you are and then just step out wide so he knows not to cross over you. Rather than trying to like fight with him for space here. Possibly block each other. But if you were there much earlier, you could have also peek from the right side. From the front. I'll probably go wider. This is a very common angle that people stand at. Could also consider being crouching, because you can teleport out. Crouching doesn't matter for you, it just changes your head height. So they haven't broken through yet. I might be rotating too early. Because like once again, you've given up all this space. So let's just say they go quiet now, they can take all this back. If you really think they're all over here, you can instead just like move up to some other spot, like watch a long sightline like that or something like that. Or I guess as long as you're in TP range, you can just like look down a longer angle. It's pretty unlikely they're on the left side. If you actually think they're going to rotate through mid, they have to come through here. And it's pretty unlikely that they like come here and then come up through mid. Like that just doesn't make sense. If they go this way, they're going to go main, and you've already surrendered main for them.
Watching.
Spike down.
Yeah, you're just changing your mind a lot, putting your gun away. Like your crosshair's almost never ready if you watch this sequence. Crosshair's not ready at all. It's aimed at his toes, aimed at the wall.
Enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
So if you know the last is B, that means you could also reposition. Since they know you were playing here before, like you can wrap all the way A main and then play from A main instead.
Watching here.
And your teleport would be ready by then too. No reason to look away from your angle. Your crosshair uptime is very low. Put your gun away and you're in the open. Should take cover first. It's also like at leg height for some reason instead of at chest height. Shouldn't be opening the screen. You also could be standing closer to your cover on the left. There's no reason to be this far out. If you're like trying to be off angle, but you're not really off angle.
5 suppressed. All missiles away.
You really put your gun away way too much. You're not ready to swing. So if you look at the angle your teammates are holding, you can't swing off their contact. As soon as this guy fights, you'll have to step out 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, I think, to see. It's like way too many steps. See, now you're ready to swing.
Stand.
Reaction's a bit too slow to the jet. Shouldn't really be swinging while holding W. You're just like holding W forward instead of holding left. Also, if you know they're about to swing, you could also crouch to make sure your teammate has a better shot and your heads don't line up. Because you can always TP out anyway.
Here.
Stand at a more random angle.
Smoke चाहिए?
फिर तोड़ा क्या?
All missiles away.
Shot.
All missiles away.
Mate.
Here.
Spike down mid.
Drone going out.
One 41 Omen. 141 Omen.
Crosshair's just in the middle of nowhere here. Crosshair should be aligned on one of these two sides. No reason to be in the center. They're ever going to come through the center.
Nope.
It's not really a point to split up 1-1-1 like this. Either double up with Teo or double up with Clove. I don't think it really makes sense for you all to split up.
In the
Especially when you don't have a real gun.
पहले पूछा था भाई.
Locating targets.
देख ले भाई.
B.
Like, when it comes to map control, the goal isn't to take map control or like hold map control. The goal is to use map control so that you gain numbers advantage. So if you have a choice between using numbers advantage or just like taking map control that's pretty worthless, there's like no reason to try to like fight for worthless map control with high risk. Usually you want to fight for valuable map control with low risk. Sure, whatever. Alright, attack now.
कोई भी work नहीं
I would
करेगा.
not waste my ammo on a right click there.
Trap destroyed.
Interesting that you decide to use a classic here. Like, this is a very long angle. Your crosshair's not ready at all. Crosshair still isn't ready. They can't be here. No reason to make extra noise on the rope, which is very obvious. Gotta set up your teleport. You're sort of just doing nothing. You're not even helping your Teo. You're in the open to this guy. Get lucky that you win that one.
Out of charges.
Also, immediately after you kill her, you like look somewhere useless. So usually there's no reason for her to be alone. So at this point, you should be like trying to cut off either this sight line or cut off that sight line. But instead, you just face this wall, which is very odd. And you're just completely defenseless if they double push.
One more. Chip. 50 to jet.
one enemy remaining.
Kill. You should not peek this guy though. You should be falling back.
50 to 50.
So you get the kill. So this one's fine because they don't know exactly where you are. But now they know exactly where you are. Like, you should be looking to see if you can back off or like buy time, because every second you can buy is more time for Clove to flank for your teammates to get here to join your angle. No reason to take that risk. And you might say, oh, the chances that we lose are so low or whatever because it's 1v4, but I've definitely seen a lot. There's no reason to waste $200 there. That's a huge waste of money. Especially when you have a bulldog already. Crosshair placement's not ready.
Tower.
I mean, your sniper's already watching here. Like, you're just wasting a lot of time here. I don't think you end up doing anything this round other than distracting mid. That's also really dangerous to go up there. Still stand in the open. Careful blocking your cipher. Yeah, you weren't watching your flank at all.
Tower.
You know your teammate dropped that trip.
I'm gonna drone here, boys.
Why are you shift walking? Like, showing presence mid like doesn't mean anything. Plus you're out of audio range. So you have to be really careful not to give up a weapon here, right? So you probably could have at least jump peeked to like see if they were there.
Down B.
mean, you're on attack, so it's not like the worst to take a fight here. It's sort of like the same thing as last time. Like, if you win a fight here, that's like really good for you because being short a defender is a big deal. But if you lose a fight here, like it's not that big a deal because they don't know where your full team is.
Spike is down.
An attacker's life isn't worth as much as a defender's life. So it's not that bad to take the fight on attack.
Spike area is down.
Especially if like you don't have any util to watch flank anymore anyway. So you're not worth that much. Whereas if you pick off someone like, I don't know, like their Jet or their Reyna or someone that can help them take site. Well, you really gotta stop putting your gun away.
Get low.
You should watch something instead of staring into the wall.
Spike planted.
Get low.
2v3, you need to look for fights here.
Last player standing.
So as soon as you get a kill, you shouldn't be afraid to run a step or two. Because they can't tell what direction you're moving, they just know where you are, but you just shot someone, so they already know where you are.
One enemy remaining.
Again. My ult is ready.
Will they?
My ult is ready.
Last player standing.
I think this is fine.
One enemy. Last player standing.
A little bit lazy on this peak, you're still holding W when you're peeking. But good shots. You didn't have a way to know which side they were going to go left or right. You do want to avoid finding the fight so you can stall time. But I think that was fine. Honestly, I think this takes so much time, it's just safer to use the Vandal here. I don't know why you're shift walking, they already know you're mid. They could actually be close on you already. You really gotta work on your first strafing.
80 on Gecko.
Your strafes are also really small, but you're not really
80
like
on Gecko.
your aim. If you're like trying to aim, it's like it looks like you're sort of trying to aim, but you're not really putting your full effort into the aiming here.
On Gecko.
And it's a pretty dangerous crouch at the end. Like if you miss a bunch of shots, you could also strafe to this side to get out. Oh, they already broke that. Oh, you already broke the vent, that's why. Interesting that because you broke the vent, you died for it. You know your whole team's rotating now.
Chill.
Turn up the pressure.
What are you waiting for?
Overbladed. अरे overbladed यार.
Should be knife walking to catch up. Your club's so far ahead.
B29.
Not so fast.
That teleport.
B29.
Not so fast. Locating target.
No peeking.
One suppressed.
Leaving Teo to fight alone. I guess it's okay. You shouldn't really fight. I don't think it's good to always grab the rope like that. You're not going to take fall damage unless you jump off the lip of the edge. Crosshair's not ready for this at all. Didn't check behind the double box for your team.
Plants the spike.
Also didn't check danger or whatever that's called.
Teleport's ready.
One enemy remaining.
120, 120, 120, 120.
Team
Alright, you're shift walking. You know he's top mid.
A.
Make an
Drone going out.
Should be ready to swing off your jet. Because you backed up, there's no way you can swing. You should be up here. So as soon as the jet finds someone, you can take one step and join the fight.
This is how we
Shouldn't be out here in the open.
all missiles away.
You have a tripwire behind you. You should be paying attention to that. Fire's down now though. Could be close, right?
Like I never left. Last player standing.
It's a little dangerous.
There they are.
I know exactly where you are. I can smoke you off too.
Teleport.
Your position here was good. I don't think you had to pick up your teleport either. think. Because like standing forward in the smoke would be pretty good. If like your teammates get shot in the side from heaven, you can step out of the smoke and trade. There's no risk from behind because of the trip, at least for now, until the Cypher dies. I guess the long wrap would be good if your team had fallen back to main, but your team would actively pushing through to their side. Maybe they were looking to take spawn side.
Deal.
That's a good spot.
Your Teo peek alone.
Locating targets.
You guys trying to make noise here because you're being awfully quiet for it. Shouldn't be shift walking so much.
Backside one. One here, one down.
Don't have mid control, they could already be here.
Peek with the-
Good. You had your rifle ready. Crosshair's sort of dipping though.
हम लोग-
Crosshair should be up here and ready. It's super unlikely that someone comes
हम
out
लोग
that
भी
side.
घुस रहे हैं.
Crosshair's not ready at all.
Enemy spotted B. One down. My ultimate is ready.
So close.
Take it. That was a good adjustment after missing the initial flick.
So close.
Nice,
Take
nice,
your
nice.
gun out. You can take your gun out before you land so that
One
your gun's
enemy
ready when you go.
remaining.
Out of charges.
You should be setting up.
So
Go for it.
Team A.
Maybe also picking up your trip.
You want to play? Let's play. Drone going out. A gift. All missiles away. Out of
Weird that
charges.
you like use this like aggressively rather than to do stuff like hold mid push or like, I mean, you use it to hold the A push sometimes, but you always put it in exactly the same spot, or you use it like aggressively as if it were a Cypher cam. But its range is so small, it's not really going to do much like that.
भाई यहाँ बैठा है इसके ऊपर.
आजा भाई, आजा, आजा, आजा.
I don't have your audio, so it's hard for me to tell like what you're trying to do. But if you guys are trying to like fake A, you're like not doing a good job of it. Crosshair's super not ready for this. Your crosshair should be over here. Yeah, she would step right into your crosshair if you were holding the normal way. Instead of aiming at the wall or aiming at the smoke. So generally, like, the simple way to do macro is you want to be loud where there's few of you, and you want to be quiet where there's a lot of you. So you want to be like full running, shooting this like vent thing. There's no reason to be like shift walking here. You want to draw attention to yourself when you're a few people. And the more attention you draw to yourself, the less likely it is they peek into you.
Grounded. Enemy spotted B.
You're like very scared to take this duel in mid.
Spike planted. Hiding. Spike planted.
Sorry.
Eyes off me.
So like, let me see. Like, why do you even decide to go B at all? Like, you're already so late, you won't really be able to help with the thing. That was a really expensive way to break that. Just use your Vandal. Like, you're so late here, your team is already on site. Like, if they were going to lose the fight, there's no way you can make it there in time anyway, so you don't really have much value over there. You've blocked the A push here. You could also just hold this flank. You could swing off this tripwire if you really wanted to. I don't know, you could also just hold something ratty over here, because the team doesn't need you just yet. You could also, like, the time that you were trying to, like, late wrap around, like, that works if your team is playing really safe, like, your team is all pushed back into main, maybe then you have to late wrap, because it's too hard to come back out. But they're already on site that other time. But here, like, your team's, like, still taking site, and you're too late to help. So if you want to do a high-risk, high-reward play, you could go for a flank here. Then you'd be fighting this Omen, hopefully fairly. Because you ended up in a fair fight on one anyway.
Watch this.
All missiles away.
Watch this.
All missiles away.
Crosshair like doesn't really seem ready here. I don't know why.
All missiles away.
I guess you were ready for, like, if she was just holding a close angle, but you weren't ready for the swing.
Locating targets.
I don't know why your team slowed down so much.
Dropping smokes.
Locating targets.
footstep on middle here. Nice pick. Kind of dangerous, but it worked. I'm actually surprised she didn't shoot.
This is how it ends. That works. All missiles away.
I don't know if you have to double trip that, but I guess if one of you dies.
I have them.
Spike planted.
It's pretty dangerous because you're completely open to their spawn. Like, Cypher happened to cage it for you, like for this couple seconds, but it's like really dangerous. Surprised you missed that shot.
Monster on the loose.
You're just like standing out here in the open.
That's a good spot.
You're late on this swing.
All missiles away.
Probably be helping your jet. You should have been able to trade your jet here instead of just watching her die. Right side's more dangerous. The Omen's in an active fight here, so it's very unlikely that he'd be like... Well, it's impossible for him to make it here in time even. But it's pretty unlikely that there's like another person like ready for him. However, it's pretty likely there's another person coming out of A to help.
I don't think so.
Close me, close me.
Corners. So this might be a good time to think about what you want to do post-plant. So for instance, you can move over here. Rather than holding this aggressive angle where no one can trade you at all, if you stand somewhere like here, like after the plant, your Cypher has time to come over here and get ready to stand here to swing off your contact.
Good already.
But here, there's nothing your teammates can do at all. If you were here, the jet would have taken another like 3-4 seconds, and that would have been enough time for your Clove to catch up. Clove's here now. So this is when the jet would be coming through.
Last player standing.
Oh. So you should have won that round.
Multiple mate.
So if you want to bait for your jet, you should make some noise here too. You can just shoot a couple shots through the wall. You can jump peek if you want.
Multiple mate. I'm dead.
But instead you just left her to die.
E died.
And if anything, the jet should be the one rotating, not you, since you have Sentinel util.
Spike down mid. Last player standing.
Mid chamber.
One enemy
Way too
remaining.
much.
Well played.
I think it's fine to take the fight there, because otherwise he was going to get spiked and then you'd be in big trouble.
One down.
It's like very late to help this push. At this point, you should be trying to find a new spot. No one's watching flank.
My ult is ready. Enemy spotted B.
Like, you're watching an area that Jet's already watching. Teo already has this spot, so you're really just looking at nothing. You might as well have your knife out looking at the floor. Whereas you can be shot in the back at any time.
One enemy remaining.
Enemy spotted.
Now you know where he is.
Flawless.
Alright, so I think your aim is fine. Like, I think your decision making, especially when it comes to like the macro decision of where you should be, you don't anchor enough. You rotate way too fast. Like, you also aren't really thinking about how do I take a better fight. You're just sort of like walking where it's convenient and then like being forced to take whatever fights that you have to, that you end up just seeing. You want to be deliberate about like when you choose to fight, when you choose not to fight. For instance, on attack, a lot of the time you decline to fight mid, even though it's like relatively safe. You can just jump peek it too. And even just like showing presence mid like scares them and then they have to like use resources to defend it. Whereas like you also spend a lot of time just like rotating super late on attack after your teammates already have sight and you're not like really doing anything other than giving up map control for free. I guess map control is another topic. You don't seem to really think about why people hold map control in certain areas. So when you hold map control, it's not about fighting them when they enter it. It's about the people entering map control not knowing when the fight is going to happen. So if you have a lot of map control, you can surrender like just a random amount of it and then hold a random angle. And they have to walk through that angle in order to go to where they want to go. And you know like exactly where the angle is going to be. Like that's what Defender's Advantage is all about. And the thing is, you don't have to do that alone. Since you pick the ambush point, you can pick the ambush point such that you have a swing off contact, you have someone high-low, or like double watching the same thing. Like that is why map control is important. It also buys like time for rotations. I think like, okay, so like in the beginning, this is like more on the macro side of when you just surrender like huge swaths of the map. Especially when they didn't break Cypher's util yet too. Like times like this, when you surrender like huge areas of the map, and like your death means that you lose the entire area. Like this is like an outsized impact. Whereas if you're like standing here and jump peeking, or like jump peeking B main with your trip here, like you hold like an outsized amount of space on the map, considering you're just one person. Like that's what sentinels are good at. That's why like trap sentinels especially like matter more than like other sentinels, is because you can hold this map control without needing to allocate a player. Like if, for instance, if you put this trip like a little, I guess either way they can always jump across this way, but they'd probably hear it. But for the most part, like you can hold like a lot of map control just by jump peeking and having your trip here. It makes it so they have like very limited options to like move without being detected and without having advance notice. And you can use that information to then decide, hey, if they're heavy mid, I'm going to fight my way through B main, or vice versa. If they're heavy B main, I can just come back and retreat to mid and fight through mid if you have to with your team. All right, that's all I got.